My name is Jack Harlan, and for 15 years, I built a life out of sweat and blind faith. I was the guy who woke up at 4 a.m. to grind on construction sites, turning blueprints into homes for strangers while my own felt like a goddamn palace. Our house in suburban Chicago, 4 bedrooms, a backyard big enough for the kids' trampoline, and a mortgage I chipped away at like it was my personal Everest. Sarah, my wife, she was the spark. Golden hair, laugh like summer rain, the kind of woman who made you believe in forever after one glance across a dive bar. We met at 22, married at 24, and by 30, we had Ellie and Max, our miracles in chaos. I thought we had it all, but forever? That's just a pretty lie we tell ourselves to sleep at night. It started unraveling last fall, right around the time the leaves turned blood red. I've been promoted to foreman, pulling in enough to finally pay off that student debt from community college. Sarah quit her part-time gig at the library, said she wanted to focus on us, on being a better mom. I didn't question it. Why would I? She was glowing, planning this surprise anniversary trip to Napa. "Just you and me, babe," she'd whisper, her fingers tracing circles on my chest after we'd fumble through sex that felt more routine than fireworks. But there was this edge to her now, a restlessness. She'd linger on her phone, giggling at texts she dismissed as book club drama. I trusted her. Hell, I worshipped her. The first crack showed up in our bank statements. Nothing huge at first, a couple hundred here, a Venmo to spa day there. I asked about it over meatloaf one night, casual as pie. "What's this charge for the hotel downtown?" She froze, fork midway to her mouth, then flashed that smile that could melt steel. "Oh, girls' night with Lisa. You know how we get." Lisa, her best friend since high school, the one with the peroxide bob and a laugh like a hyena. I nodded, shoveled in another bite. But the charges kept coming. Designer bags on her arm that I swore weren't there before. Nails done weekly like she was prepping for the Oscars. "Life's too short, Jack," she'd say, kissing my cheek. "We deserve nice things." We? Yeah, right. By Christmas, the lies were stacking like unpaid bills. Ellie came home from school with a bruise on her arm. Nothing major, just a playground scrape. But Sarah lit into her like she'd torched the tree. "You're so fucking clumsy. Can't you do anything right?" I stepped in, pulled Sarah aside. "Hey, ease up." She's 8. Her eyes, those blue oceans I drowned in, turned to ice. "You don't get it, Jack. I'm stressed. The house, the kids, your endless hours, it's all on me." I apologized, bought her that necklace she eyed at the mall. Guilt gnawed at me for weeks. Was I the asshole here? The absent husband, too buried in overtime to notice her cracking? New Year's Eve sealed it. We were at the annual block party, string lights twinkling like false promises, neighbors toasting with cheap champagne. I was nursing a beer, chatting with old man Wilkins about the Bears' shitty season, when I saw her. Sarah, slipping out the back gate with her coat half on, whispering into her phone. "Be there in 5, handsome, handsome." The word hit like a sledgehammer to the gut. I followed, heart pounding louder than the fireworks popping overhead. She drove to the Marriott downtown, the same one from those girls' nights. Parked across the street, engine off, I watched her strut in like she owned the place. 10 minutes later, the elevator doors opened, and there he was, Victor Langford, my boss's brother-in-law. Slick suit, silver fox hair, the kind of guy who lunches at steakhouses and golfs with senators. He pulled her close, hand low on her back, and they vanished into the lobby like smoke. I sat there till dawn, chain-smoking Camels I hadn't touched since college, replaying every touch, every "I love you" we'd shared. Victor, the bastard who'd patted me on the back at the company picnic, called me one of the good ones, while eyeing Sarah like she was the prize in a raffle. Turns out she was... I'd overheard rumors at work, Victor poaching talent, but now I saw the real game. He'd been mentoring Sarah, she confessed later in one of her half-assed explanations. Coffee meetings that turned to lunches to networking drinks. He promised her the world, a gallery job curating art, her old dream from college, trips to Paris, a life without blue-collar bullshit. And me? I was the bullshit. The divorce hit like a freight train. Filed in February, right after Valentine's. Poetic, huh? She lawyered up quick, some sharp from Victor's Rolodex who buried me in paperwork. Alimony? Child support? She wanted the house, the savings, half my pension. For the kids' stability, her email read, all business. Ellie and Max didn't get the memo. They just saw mommy packing boxes and daddy sleeping on the couch. I fought dirty, hired a PI with my last overtime check. Photos of her and Victor in his lake house, tangled like teenagers. Videos, even. The judge called it adultery, but Sarah spun it. Jack's paranoia drove me away. Victor's money greased the wheels. His sister, my boss's wife, whispered poison in board meetings. Unreliable, they said. Family man gone rogue. By spring, I was demoted, then let go. Out on my ass, with a studio apartment that smelled like regret and a custody schedule that felt like scraps. But here's where it gets good, or bad, depending on your poison. I didn't break. Not yet. See, Victor wasn't just a cheat. He was a thief. While Sarah played the victim in court, I dug. Late nights with public records, favors from a buddy in accounting. Turns out, Victor's empire, real estate flips, shell companies, was built on fraud. Embezzlement from his own family firm, the one that employed me for a decade. He'd siphoned millions, funneled through offshore accounts, using Sarah's art investments as cover. Those Venmo charges? Bribes to appraisers. The hotel stays? Meetings with crooked bankers. I could have gone to the cops right then, watched it burn from afar. But no, I wanted them to feel it, the slow choke of their own lies. I tipped off the feds anonymously. Enough breadcrumbs to start the audit, but timed it for after the wedding. Yeah, they got hitched in June, a lavish affair in the Hamptons. Sarah in white lace that cost more than my truck, Victor grinning like he'd conquered Rome. I crashed it, uninvited, in a rented tux that hung loose on my frame. Stood at the back during vows, toasting with a flask of whiskey. She saw me, eyes widening like I'd risen from the grave. Jack, what the? He puffed up, security, goons flanking him. But I just smiled. Congrats. Enjoy the empire while it lasts. The indictments dropped in August. FBI raid at dawn. Victor in cuffs on their honeymoon yacht. Sarah screaming from the deck as agents hauled out servers and ledgers. Headlines screamed, tycoons fall. Affair and arson to fraud empire. Arson? Oh, that was the kicker. Turns out, Victor torched one of his own flips for insurance, right after I'd signed off on the inspection. My name was on it, forged but close enough to drag me into the mess. They pinned attempted murder on him too. Some poor subcontractor caught in the blaze. Sarah? She flipped like a bad pancake, testifying for immunity. I didn't know, she sobbed on the stand, mascara rivers down her cheeks. Bullshit. The jury saw through it. Perjury charges pending. Now it's October, and I'm piecing it back. Ellie's drawing me pictures from her room at Sarah's, well, Victor's old condo, seized and rented cheap. Max asks when we can play catch again. I got a new gig, smaller firm, honest work. Therapy on Tuesdays, AA on Thursdays. Turns out, that rage was a demon of its own. But every night, when the city's hum quiets, I think of her. Not with hate, not anymore. Pity, maybe. She chased the fairy tale, bedded the dragon, and woke up in ashes. You see, life's not fair. It chews you up, spits you out, and hands the pretty ones a knife. Victor's rotting in county, awaiting trial. Deserves the chair if you ask me. That smug prick who wrecked lives for a thrill. Sarah? She's crashing on Lisa's couch, peddling sob stories on social media, begging for GoFundMe scraps. And me? I'm the ghost they can't shake. The husband who loved too hard, lost everything, and walked away whole. If that's not a twist, what is? Stay vigilant, folks. The monsters don't always have horns. They wear cologne and wedding rings. And they always fall. Eventually. And that's the story. If you enjoyed it, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.